on your picture, Eric? Is that Jeff Bridges? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
That's the dude from the Big Lebowski. I forgot that was on there.
I love it. I'm like, and that's the never ending. No, is that the never ending story or?
Yeah, it's Falcor, the never-ending
Yeah,
story dragon, and the dude riding him. Hold
yeah,
on.
I like it. Morning, everybody. We're live.
Good morning.
Hey, you know
Morning,
what?
morning, morning, YouTubers.
The
YouTubers.
the the dude
Tubers.
abides. I'm leaving him.
Yeah,
The dude abides.
that's
Whoa,
right.
whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on, Luminators? Juggernauts, powerful and unstoppable.
Woo! Craziness is happening around the sun. Of course, we're
Below
above
the sun,
the
above the sun, in the sun.
sun.
What happens when you have one door open and one door closing? You have a lot of chaos.
What?
Yeah,
It's harder
nothing's
to
coming
start a
to an
draft.
end. Just things are finishing up and new things are starting. Get wicked smart.
Beautiful, beautiful.
The end is a new beginning.
Whoa.
Spiraling around, never ending, but just walking into new beginnings.
Whoa.
How's your energy? How's your energy doing? You got that good energy going on? You got your electromagnetic, plasmatic, epigenetic, love technology being that you are?
Hydromatic,
That's right. You drive it.
electromatic,
How you doing?
grease lightning.
How's your environment doing? You taking care of this environment in here? Right? You getting the signals coming in, your body brain, you're checking, receiving, transmitting good love. You're loving above this, you're loving big love, you're practicing loving big. What are we doing? You're loving yourself?
Oh, yep. I'm here. I'm here.
It's just myself, the dog, and the cat. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go outside. I wanted to do some humming. I wanted to do some grounding. I wanted to have some fresh air. And I'm like, but I have a call. But I have a call.
It's raining today here in San Idaho.
It's supposed to rain here. It's not raining yet, though.
Oh, teaching's coming in, teaching.
It is the Halloween's day today for all you peeps. Which is actually it's not a big deal for me, except for I work in the schools, and so in a couple hours I'll be heading over there and seeing all the craziness that's going on there. And
is that what they call a trunk and treat, bro?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
They're not loaded with candy and cupcakes and all that by the time
off the wall. Sugar.
Oh
yeah, the sugar wine.
They are amped up, man. Like
they're gonna be in the whack, but it's a sugar whack.
Yes. Thankfully, tomorrow we don't have school. We finally got smart, and actually, it's the end of the quarter tomorrow. It just happened to fall on that, but we don't have school tomorrow, which they should make that a national day of whatever day Halloween falls on. Because man, the next day they're either so high, and then actually by the time my program at 1 o'clock or close to 2, they've all hit the sugar low, so they're just and you got all these kindergartners who are crying and just can't handle it anymore.
Mr. Paul, I don't have any more energy, and everybody's picking on me. Do you have a Snickers bar or anything?
Yeah, that's the issue. Us teachers, we need the Snicker bar.
I think I'll feel better if somebody gives me some chocolate.
I know. You know what? That is one thing I am missing right now. Being on the carnivore diet thing that we're on. I know we're on live TV and live TV. Well, I guess we are. Let's just talk about my eating habits.
Well, yeah, why not?
It's been wonderful, by the way, except for once you start eating steak every day, it's the funness of the steak is long gone.
Yeah.
Long gone. And I mean, I'm eating big big steaks every day. I mean, every
Ooh,
night, or some
man.
type of it. It's just not fun. I mean, I think I got to go to the Wagyu stuff to really have fun now. So yeah, like Lord. But I have quit sugar. I haven't had sugar in 3 months, which is amazing. No sugar,
In what way? How you
always.
feel? Talk about it. Like that's like people like. How do you know? Like from observation of your own self and
Oh,
ideas.
my body, the way I feel. Um, that is a good question. I mean, I do miss it. I do miss it. Don't get me wrong. I have a couple of, the little Doves chocolate thing.
Nice. Yep.
We were talking we had my last work meeting. We were my boss was asking, what do you guys like and what do you guys, if somebody what gets you going? Like if somebody gives you a compliment, do you like compliments? Do you like this? And so I like Dove's chocolates, the little Dove's chocolates, and the reasons why I do is because of the positive sayings that they have in the wrappers,
Mm, very
which are
cool.
really cool, and they've come at some pretty timely times. I've somebody's given me a piece of chocolate and
It's
whatever.
dark chocolate.
I have both actually. I had the blue and the red. That's what they gave me. But yes, I do like
Right.
the dark chocolate's the best.
Yeah. I have the red. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dark
lo and
chocolate.
behold, the next week, of course, I get, a little cute little box with 6 of those, and I can't have them right now because I'm on this thing. We're trying to go 3 months, and so we're getting close to the 3 month mark, and so we're in the process of deciding what we're going to do. I think we're going to go through Thanksgiving, and then after that, it's going to be because we'll be going to my family's for Christmas, and they're all vegan and stuff. So it's really
The
it's
opposite.
22 of like what we haven't. They're not on YouTube, so I can say this. They're not on any social media, but we haven't told them yet. And this is
Smart, wicked smart, bro.
well, we're just asking Papa how to go about doing it because relationships are really important and all that. So we're trying to figure out how can we do this going keto, be able to go there and have veggies. What veggies do you think we would be able to eat and stuff? The main thing is, so this is going to be the hardest part for me for the holidays, is the sweets. I mean, I told my wife, I'm like, Mom, you can bake my cookies still. She has the cookies. I've had these cookies for years and years and years. Comes in a little tin, and she's so the cookies. I'm like, I'm just gonna break out of that and enjoy my cookies. I'm gonna enjoy my daughter's Asher. He's a professional chef. He's a chef, and his cheesecake, mind you, it is vegan. The best cheesecake I've ever eaten by far. And I've had obviously cheesecake from all different places. Oh my gosh, the last time we were there in summer, he made this mocha, like this espresso cheesecake thing that it was the best I've ever eaten. It was so good. I'm like, I, I'm not going to, sacrifice that on this. I'm gonna enjoy that. Now, I don't know how this is the thing. We have friends who have been doing the carnivore for quite a while, for a year. And so she went on holiday and she decided to have some ice cream. And so she went and had ice cream and stuff, and it messed with her pretty hardcore. That's what I don't want.
Hmm.
When you start, even though it is dairy, which we can have, like I have heavy cream, I have the butter and heavy cream in my
Right.
coffee. no sugar or anything like that. But it doesn't mess with me. But I haven't really done cheese, like any cheese type stuff. And then when you get into the vegan stuff, it's not the real deal. They do all the other stuff, which is actually really good. But now my body is totally haven't had that stuff for 3 months, and we're clearing all that stuff out, all the oils. I haven't had any oils, none of those oils, seed oils, anything like that. So my body is getting rid of all that. And there are certain times where I feel like yesterday, I felt like I had a detox. Like all of a sudden, I mean, I know we're on, but your bowel movements are different. It's like all of a sudden, my bowel, it's just like, oh, this is detox. This is not just regular. And yesterday I detoxed a bunch of stuff. I don't know exactly what it was, but I just could tell it was just like whatever was working through me was like ugh, through. And then you feel awesome. I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels so good. It's like going through I've gone through some of the liver cleanses. And I mean, it's been a while since I've done that, probably 4 or 5 years ago. Man, when my wife and I got off all that, yeah, and did the whole cleanse, I felt so amazing. You just feel it. I mean, my body was like, I mean, my colon, I mean, you really feel your body. It's weird. Parts that you just don't, you just feel like it's all flushed out and I don't know. So, I mean, there are times, I really get it's is a mind game sometimes because every time I eat, or a lot of times I eat with the meat, I don't necessarily feel awesome afterwards. I just feel like another thing of meat, but I know it's doing good, and I just I'm starting the weight starting to go off, and which isn't the main thing for me, but another thing is I'm bulking up actually. So my body proportions, the way I'm proportioned, I'm starting to see the results of that, which is great, and then feeling pretty decent. And my wife is starting her energy levels are increasing, which is huge. Oh my gosh, huge. So that's one of the main kickers for my wife is like, and she's starting to feel good about life again. Like she went through last year and the year before, it was just like she was on like this. And of course, she's menopausing as well, but all the hormones and everything. She's going through a lot of phases right now during this, but she's just was like, I wasn't looking forward to anything. Like life was just hard. Like, every day having to get up and get the energy, and that takes a lot of energy out of you. Well, now you want to go on a walk? You want to go this without me suggesting any of it. That's huge. So, yeah, I mean, we're planning on going on a walk after I get off work and kind of just walk the town and see what's going on and just release who we are in our neighborhoods and stuff instead of just staying at home all hunkered in and so
Now, how much steak do
that's a
you
big
like?
deal.
Do you eat 3 meals a day? Like you have
No.
steak, steak, and steak?
Oh
You just
no.
eat
No, two
once?
meals a day. Um, we do, and then for my electrolytes, we do the water and salt. So, which we really need. And yesterday, it was weird. Yesterday, around about 2:30, I was at school in my group, and all of a sudden, I just felt like my energy just went. It was weird. I'm like, was this my coffee? Was this because I sometimes when I drink Starbucks coffee, it's stronger than but it was just like, whoa, this is like, I don't have. So I carry a vial, a little, where you would normally put like medicine or a little, your pills or whatever in. I fill that with salt. So I have salt with me, and then I during my break, I just kind of put a bunch of salt in my hand and put it in my mouth and then just take a good drink of water with it. And my energy all of a sudden was like, whoa, it's amazing. Our bodies speak to us, and it's pretty cool. So that, you know, normally during the day, like I'll eat around between 10:30 and 11 every day because I know that I'm not going to have time. But I'm not hungry a lot of times. You could, a lot of people just go on this thing during they'll eat one time a day because your body just,
Right, because
you
it's
know,
all protein.
yeah. And so I usually have we have roasts that we make as well besides the steak. And so we'll cut up the roasts. And this is what my wife takes to work. We'll cut it up, bite-sized pieces so my wife can eat it easily at work. And that's what I eat. And I usually have 4 eggs with mine. And then and that's it for my day. And then when I get home at night, it's between 5:30 and 6. She's got everything going. Usually there's some bacon involved. Her favorite deal is actually ground beef that we have, grass-fed beef that we've gotten from friends. And she does that. She mixes that, and puts eggs, scrambles eggs, and cuts up, I think, 4 pieces of bacon. And she makes a good thing for a couple nights. That's her favorite deal. I tend to find this is the one thing that I'm having issues with, is my acidity is still high. That's one thing that we're trying to figure out. Um, so either high or low, we're trying to figure out which way. So whenever I eat ground beef, that meal, I have a hard time, the acidity. So that's why I eat more of the steaks, where my wife is more on the ground beef. She likes that instead of
Interesting. What's
having
your blood type, by the way?
A A positive. Both
A
are
positive.
both of ours are A positive.
So
Interesting.
can't you reverse engineer it and figure out what carnivore foods are alkaline or
We've
diet?
tried, yeah, that's what we're doing, and I think I don't know if it's the mixture of, because I can eat bacon by itself and it's fine, but when it's that mixture, the eggs and then
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It's the mixture, the combination of the pork with the,
yeah.
Well,
So
it was interesting. I was reading about the blood type diets back in the day.
yeah,
And
ours doesn't go with
the
this actually.
RH negative could eat, like my O negative, I could eat like all sorts of red meat and sweet meats, which I was like, what the heck is sweet meats? It's the meats that your grandma ate that you don't, right? It's the gizzard and the
The
all sorts
liver
of,
and all that,
yeah,
yeah.
liver, the organ meats, and I was like, wow, I can eat all that stuff because RH negative or at least O negative has higher acidity. So my apparently my blood type has a tendency to be able to more easily break down red meat structures because of the high acidity.
Yeah.
Whereas it may be driving your acidity higher than normal, which gives you, I wouldn't say, well, you don't get acid reflux, but it's
Well,
just
it does, and that's what
ah,
at night. So this is the thing. I'm fine during the day, whatever, but
yeah,
at night,
lay down.
I don't get where it comes up all the time, the acid reflux stuff,
Yep,
but
yep,
it's there. I mean, it's been a couple times. I'm like, and it's when I turn over, it's weird. It's just like it sticks. It stays right here.
yeah,
I turn over, I can just like, it's not like going down or doing what it's supposed to do. And it's like half
yeah,
the night, it's like right here.
yep.
So it's kind of and by the morning time I'm feeling great and whatever, but
You just feel it heavy because it's
yeah.
not going down.
So when you chew the steak, do you spend twice as much time to almost liquefy it in your mouth
Oh
before you
yeah.
swallow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be swallowing because you're like,
Oh heck.
because your soul body's going, oh, this go right here. And you're like swallowing chunks. That's like, dude,
Oh
come on,
no.
man. It's like,
No, I chew more during this. I've had more chewing practice. Oh my gosh, chewing this meat. I mean,
I,
it's Yeah.
I wonder if you had some enzymes to help you break down when you had those
We
type
do
meals.
have, we are taking some stuff. Yeah, we
Okay.
are taking some enzymes. I don't know what, my wife's got, take this, take one of these if you're feeling that way. I used to do apple cider vinegar all the time.
Yeah.
And even before, my grandpa did apple cider vinegar every night before he went to bed. And so even before I knew the benefits of apple cider vinegar, and then some people say apple cider vinegar is not good, but it worked for me. And so I would take it, and every once in a while, if I know it's like pretty intense, I'll take some of that, and it seems to help. I don't know. Um, so yeah, that's I mean,
Well,
this
you
is
didn't have a problem switching from your vegetarian lifestyle to this. It
no, we
didn't
didn't.
disrupt you up, did it?
Um, no, and that was the thing. But we were, I mean, we've been doing it for 3 years, so it feels like we've been, like cleansing our bodies for quite a while. Um, or at least we've been working on it. So, I mean, I could go, I mean, that's the thing. We'll probably, I mean, we're going to have to make some choices, one way or the other, what we want to do. Um, so yeah, we're just kind of deciding. I guess we might want to experiment with it before we
That
head,
would be a great idea.
just so we
And
know.
when will your 3 months be up?
Soon, actually, this month, I mean, before Thanksgiving, actually.
Oh, well, good.
So
So then you could kind of
yeah,
play with it and get you some kind of whatever y'all decide. And
routine, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. My wife's, I mean, a lot, we're reading that this is just like any lifestyle change, it takes time, and some people see results pretty quick. But we've been going at this for a while, and we keep reminding ourselves that we've been in this process for quite a while. So we've been seeing results, but not the results that, people just quit and all of a sudden their, diabetes goes away and all this stuff. Well, we don't have any of that. So it's like all the innard stuff that we're, just dealing with. And that's why, they say to go strong, gung ho for 3 months on this and then reassess. A lot of people just keep on going because they feel so good. They just want to go. But I just find it, I mean, I'm enjoying it, but to me, I need a little bit of variety. Every once in a while, a little bit of a treat, a little bit of something that would break up the monotony of this. And I mean, we can. I mean, we've been strictly, I would say we haven't done the lion diet, I mean, we're pretty close, but we have introduced eggs and that where it's all just meat, 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 meat. So we've done the eggs, and I mean there are recipes where you can make egg pancakes and do some different things like that. And we do the heavy cream on the weekends, and add some vanilla stuff on there to kind of, that's a fun treat. It's like eating whipped cream, it's kind of, fun. But people eat fish on this. They go to the, having shrimp and all that stuff, tuna or, sardines and stuff like that. We have all that stuff here. We just haven't chose to go that way yet. But I mean, I guess when my wife was saying yesterday, when we decide to do something, we go hardcore at it, and that's what we want. Um, and it's it seemed to help for my wife. It's really helped the emotional part of the eating. She was an emotional eater for years and years, or her whole life, and so this has really broke that pattern, which is huge.
It's a
You
big deal
Yeah.
That's a huge thing,
because your soul body
Yes.
is really the one that drives the atomic matter of this physical body. It's not the other way around. Oh, I'm hungry. Your body's doing just fine. It's got its energy. It
Yes,
just got,
exactly.
15, 20 minutes of sun. It ate the sun, nope. But your soul body's got like, man, what do we, and
Yeah.
that's that balance, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
just that's the awareness. I mean, see, again, it's epigenetically, you got to get aware. And then what's the action you're going to do to complement the awareness that you just received?
Yeah.
Beautiful. And that's like 99% of how a cell responds. It's
Yeah.
like we're not genetically determined. I have an unhappy gene. I've got an overweight gene. Genetics, at the DNA level, you find out scientifically now it's really 1%. Oh, and that's really happening at the environmental signal level. Epigenetically kind of sounds like what you think on. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Out of the heart, the might. This is where we're headed. We're headed to I know we talking all this stuff, but it all ties in. We've got to go into the realm of energetic thought.
Yeah.
That's all and just go there.
Yeah.
Be aware. Look at an energetic thought. Well, what does that look like? I did this with my neighbor. This stuff was just coming. I was like, man, dude, I don't know where this is going, but it was like, dude, let's just try something. And I'm like, in your imagination, you can close your eyes, but just in your imagination, see a circle. Don't complicate it. It could be a black background with a white ring. It might be a white background but just see a circle. Let's get that circle and look at it. And you know how we can do that. This is the imagination. You go, you see the circle. I see it right now. Okay. Now, just change your thinking and become the circle and look out from the circle's perspective. You've looked at the circle.
Yep.
You've got the circle in your image. The circle is you. Now be the circle and look out from the perspective of the circle. It's like when you see,
Yeah.
right? And anyhow, I don't know what we're talking about. Where's I gonna go with all that?
It's a circle.
Yeah, it's a circle. So then you are the circle. Okay, we're circles. Hey, we got some squares in here, but let's just imagine we're all circles. So if we can do that, then we can easily transform ourselves into a cell. It might not be a perfect circle. It might have a different shape to it. But just imagine, look out and see a cell. What that might look like. The nucleus, it's got this membrane around it, and that's what we are. Okay. Well, then interestingly, and we got 50 trillion of these like things in us. What are they called? They're called cells.
Portals.
We got 50 trillion of them. Oh, wait a minute. They're all intelligent. So we've got 50 trillion things in us that are intelligent.
Yeah, what do we
We are a single cell. And interestingly, a cell, the nucleus is not the brain. You can take out the nucleus out of a cell and it's still alive. What's keeping it alive? Well, nobody told us that it's the membrane. The what? The membrane. For all those Hebrew scholars out there, the membrane. So the outside, the membrane has got 3 layers. 3 layers. Like supply, as in like the Gimel, like as in like a bench of like authority. So this cell membrane has got 3 layers. Yep. And then wow. And then then we've got then we got like 100,000 like these things called proteins. Oh. So I think I might be a protein. Yeah, you're catching on, Boston. See,
I'm a pro.
And then the cell membrane, they call them, hey, listen, guys, guess what? We're all imps. IMPs. We're imps. I'm an imp. We're an integral membrane protein. Just run with it. You're a single cell. You got your spiritual body that's coming down the back of your brainstem, down your spinal cord. You got your soul body, and both of those bodies are energetic bodies. And then you got this atomic body. And all we're doing is talking about the function of like a cell. And so in the membrane, there's two imps. There's a receptor imp, and there's an effector imp. Oh, so I'm a cell, and I got two imps. Who are you? I'm the receptor. What do you do? I'm awareness. Oh, so you are the one that gets the environmental signals, like all the horse shit that's coming down below the sun? Yep. So you received like an environmental signal. Yep. I'm the first one to get what's going on. And then, what do? I call Frankie, the effector protein. Frankie, what do you do? I'm the action. I'm the Vinny bag of donuts that makes you an offer you can't refuse. This is what is happening spiritually. At the thought level, it's energy. We've got to, I don't know science, but I'm learning. I'm like, Lord, how do I how am I? Because I know how. We're connecting. There is a spiritual, energetic science that is here.
Right.
We've talked about energy and frequency and vibration and sound bowls and essential oils and all that kind of stuff. All of it is legit. It's all valid, but you've got to go higher and deeper. Mm-hmm. Down to the point that what we do is ATS, P48 and QRST. And I'm like, well, P48 is what you do. Mm-hmm. QRST is how you do it. Like, this is all like tied in. So your whatsoever things are true, honest, and just, pure, lovely, good report, virtuous, praiseworthy. When you think on those things, your receptor is getting a signal of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, good, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. When you lean into that environmental signal, your effector signal is going to take action. Ooh, juggernaut, powerful, thought level. Now capturing your thoughts. So now let's go be religious. Take every thought into captivity. Okay, and keep saying the same thing because you're living in one half of your brain because you're not connecting the spiritual intelligence that's already encoded. Because here's what they don't know. How the heck do the freaking 100,000 proteins and 19,000 genes, a lot less genes, so genetic determinism, you blew, sorry guys. Everything is about the environment signal. We choose. That's how we're unique dimensional realities. Your thought life, you create your own reality by your environment and the signals and how you choose to receive and what actions you're going to take, like Brother Noodle that engaged something last night that you can see epigenetically that there were signals. And then Broman is figuring out what action he's going to take because of the signal that he received from the environment. That's where the quantum, that's how you do it. That's where the quantum entanglements, the assignments, you got to get up every day. You got to do this. You're worried about that. You're anxious for this. You're depressed about that. You're angry about this. You hate that. Dude, Stop. You're like, do you know what you're a love technology? What are you doing that to yourself for? Why are you thinking like that? Get into the thought energy realm with your 4 brains and your 6 bodies. 3 from my unique dimensional reality, 3 of our bodies are here, 3 are in the up here place, right? Spiritual body on the outside, your soul body, right? And then your atomic body. 3 bodies. You're a cell. You got energetic frequency around you. You've got a plasmatic microbiome, and the choices and the decisions activate the 50 trillion cells of your body. If you want something to come to you, stop asking Yahweh for it. He's given you the spiritual intelligence. We are the spiritual intelligence. We are the spiritual intelligence in the cell of the earth. Now expand. The earth is a cell. And everyone on this call and everyone listening is an imp. You're an imp. You're an integral membrane, birthing, Yashuva. This is all the real deal. And here's the thing. You can try to do genetic engineering. You can try to do mRNA malevolent stuff.
What?
But here's what you don't got, jabrones. The encoding, you don't got the secret sauce. So when Big Love is doing the eye scan, because the eyes of Big Love are in every place, right? Watching the what? The good and the concretely bad ones. And he is very much in control from a spiritual intelligence because he lives outside of his creation. That's why the adversary, he's not a creator. He can take creation and and create in creation, but he's not a creator. This is good stuff. It's waking me up good. All right, I'll stop. Probably not. Woo! Wait a minute. Hold on. Boston, see, where'd all that stuff come from? Right here. Biology of Belief. Get the book.
Who's it by? Who's the author?
Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Lipton, as in Lipton.
Spirit energy technology. That's
Nice.
what we are.
Nice.
We're combining and so real quick, and I'm just curious. I got a question for the real smart people on the call. So I've talked about plasma. We know that 99% of the universe is plasmatic. Plasma is intelligence. It's been encoded with spiritual intelligence that they don't know yet. Our blood is what, 55% plasma. We're 75% water. We're 65% oxygen. We're 18% carbon. We're 10% hydrogen. We have got to embrace the elementals, the mathematics, all of it, and spiritualize what we already know. And then we will get the witty inventions and the download because you're creating your own environment. If you know the genetics of God are responding to signals and you can make choices by being in your soul body and you understand your imagination, right? The emotion, the will, the choice, right? The mind, right? The 3 layers, conscious, subconscious, non-conscious, your reasoning. Yep. Get into consciousness. God is spirit. He's energy. Go there. Then come up into the up here place. The higher you that's already seated in the heavenlies. How does that work? Well, okay. Well, go and sit in your God body. You're already seated there. Leave your 3 bodies here, get out of your deal, and come up to the up here place and get in your God body. And then go on the sea of glass and then look at the triune and see it. Then take your God body and go sit in the triune and look out from being seated. Start with
that's
the circle.
above the sun portion.
Yeah.
Of the below the sun data that
yes.
This isn't inaccessible. This isn't way out in left field. It
Correct.
is to some degree, but the placebo effect. I mean, we already know this. Science knows it. Science has to use, the medical industry specifically, has to use incredible leaps to make sure that the placebo effect is not in the data. Because, I mean, it's like the base litmus test. If you can't beat the placebo effect, your drug ain't much, is it? And so we know this. And it's funny, I looked up your book, and then it was in the suggested books right underneath of it is Joe Dispenza, the out guy.
Yeah.
His book is "You Are the Placebo: Making Your Mind Matter." Like, so we already know this. Below the sun, we know this as a culture, as a people. We don't believe it, which kind of kills the placebo effect. But it's true. Like it matters how you think. You know, people die from false diagnoses.
Right.
You know, so they can live through right diagnoses. Like, you are not a victim of the world around you. You are more powerful than you know. It matters how you think. You know, and I have a very personal example of it. My father was killed by the medical industry. Sure, nuts and bolts of it, they killed him. But he did it. He set him up, made an easy target of himself. I love you, Dad. But he wanted to go. He was depressed. He lost his wife. This is real common. Like, we know this. Widowers do not outlive, and live very long. Widows live longer. There's something in the makeup of a woman's mind, apparently statistically viable, that says, hey, they do better when they lose someone. And so it makes sense. But he did it. He did it.
But here's what is, so where I want to understand that, and that's what I'm understanding is, so at the thought, so now let me take what I think I'm assimilating. So at the thought level, he was entertaining and creating his own environment of, I'm not happy. I feel depressed. My wife is not here. And so at the thought level that you're in control of, okay, you're the king and the fool. Everybody has one, by the way. We all have a king and a fool. So then you choose. And then once you've decided in your soul body, because choosing and then willing to choose, good or bad, creates an environmental signal. Your body, your atomic material body, is going to receive that information. And it's going to and it's going to work in concert, right, with the effector protein, the one that's action. But the interesting thing, this is where, so what is happening at the cellular level when somebody has toxic, just not good thinking, and they lived in that environment, the stressors of all of that, it must overwhelm somehow. I'd like to understand more of that.
I think internally, this is just
what is it doing where because here's, not to cut you off, but here's the beauty of the cell, the receptor and the effector proteins. It's not survival of the fittest. They want to survive, but they know the way they need to survive is to get attracted to others that want to survive. And then they grow into a microorganism and they get bigger because now they're developing a community. And that's where we have our freaking bodies. I mean, the different parts of, it's like, this is like so spiritual. And it just seems like it's all connected.
It is.
But now it's like, okay, all right. So I'm in. Well, so like, what do I do with the fact of like, so, okay, so if I'm like 75% water, we've learned that, okay, that water is going to vibrate. So if I'm using P48, it's going to position me, the signal, because I've thought the deal. I'm not hoping and wishing and praying. I'm loving my body. I'm releasing signals that the electrons are not like, I wonder what he's going to do. Dude, he's already made his freaking decision. Stop spinning up and down. Okay. He's using his imagination. He has desire. Okay, he's past the iris scan. He's a son. You can't fake it. You can't read about big love. You got to be in relationship with big love because you won't get past the eye scan. You'll have some success, but you won't have the true success because it's manifesting in all the things that you're feeding. The depression, or me, the victim, won't do you hear?
Victim.
The water of your body is resonating. Go, man, that's good. That's good. That's good. But your soul body's going, yeah, look at the and then you'll, oh, and you were so close, right? And it's like, and we're just here to encourage you. Don't you want to get woken up? Why we have family members that now I understand that are living on one side of their brain. Why would somebody, if you got a whole brain and they've got scientific proof that there's a left and a right, isn't that interesting? Right? Or you got two sides. There used to be like in politics, like two sides of the aisle. Remember, you used to cross the aisle? Well, guess what? Let's play a game. You got two sides of your brain, and your brain, whole brain, and you got a corpus callosum. That's the bridge. It's the supply to help carry your left brain over to your right brain so you can have a conversation with yourself in your three bodies below the sun, in your four brains, your head brain, your heart brain, your belly brain, and your body brain. Guys, we can't make it any easier.
Well, yeah. No one's going to say this is easy. This ain't easy. Getting through these things, it's like restuffing yourself in real time. All right? No, it ain't easy. The concepts are simple. And I think that to go back to what you were first querying, what happens when somebody gets depressed? On the outside, what happens? They stop. I mean, dude, even cats. You can tell cats when they're messed up, they look messed up. They stop cleaning. People stop cleaning. You stop making good, eating decisions. You're just like, man, I just want to feel good, or I don't feel like eating at all, right? And that's the wrong kind of fast. And then you don't clean your surroundings. You don't clean your area. You don't take care of yourself.
Your
That's
environment.
internally.
Your environment. You mean your environment?
Yep.
Yeah, I think your body stops getting rid of toxins. It stops cleaning dead cells. It stops producing good cells. It does the same thing internally that you're doing externally. It starts, the path of least resistance. It doesn't probably doesn't sleep well, so it doesn't do the repair cycle at night. So you literally sabotage yourself from the inside with your thoughts.
And that's an
That's my gut. That's my gut telling me that's what happens.
Yep. Yep.
That's a what, bro?
That's an autoimmune disease. You're in dis-ease.
Yeah.
So whether it's, I mean,
Yeah.
depression, we never say it, or at least I've never heard of it, but it is an autoimmune disease. It's a disease of the mind.
Yeah. Self-loathing.
That is actually killing itself
Yep.
through thoughts, and then you feel it through anxiety and through fears and through giving up. And
And
and it's like,
Well, it seems like it would be safe to say that we are personally keeping ourselves alive.
yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I saw this with my mother, who died at 88, transferred to a different realm. She, during COVID, needed to go into a home to have some rehabilitation. And when she went in there and COVID, it was just rampant, and it was just sad because you couldn't interact and you were stuck in your room, and and then we couldn't go see her. And then finally you could go see them, and they'd wheel them out behind this wall and no touching.
Yeah.
And she said, I thought I was going to die in there and I didn't think, she said, I didn't think I'd be able to be released, and everything was crazy. And she said, I thought I was going to die in there and I was never going to get out. Well, some people started testing positive within the home, And the nurse had told her granddaughter, my niece, that your grandmother is not positive. We've tested her, and if you want to come get her, you can. And so my niece, which is a nurse also, said, I'm going to get her. I'm not going to have it where she'll be locked down and we can't get her out for some reason or whatever. So she went and then checked my mom out of the home. And my mother, she always phrased it as, yeah, my granddaughter came and broke me out like she was in jail. She come and broke me out of that place. So we always had a laugh about that. And my mother was on hospice, but didn't really know she was on hospice, because you can be on hospice for a long time when you know that they just help with end of life care. But my mother was still eating, going to the restroom. She had family or sitters 24/7 to be with her to make sure she was okay. She could no longer go cook her meals. So the meals had to be cooked for her. So all of this was going on, but she still had a spark about her. And she said, I believe I will get back to the place where I'll be able to live by myself again. And I'm like, yes, I think that you will, because I'm not going to tell her she's not.
Yeah, exactly.
And so she kept a very positive attitude until my niece had a hospital bed brought into the house. And she told her, I sleep in my recliner and I'm not getting in that bed. If you like that bed, you sleep in it. I'm not sleeping in it. That's a bed you go to when you die. And when you bring a hospital bed into your home, her experience was that was the deathbed.
Yeah.
And she said, I am not getting in it.
Mm, 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 mm.
And when she had to get into that bed because of a fluid buildup, and when they needed to wrap her legs and try to get the fluid off of her, when she got in that bed, one day, the next day, she said, I need to go to the bathroom. I need to get up. And my niece said, Mama, you have a catheter. It's okay, because you can't get up and walk to the bathroom. She knew why she was in that bed. That day, she ate very little. The next morning, she had moved in with Yeshua.
Yeah, she chose. This is
That was
like
a done deal for her. When I
I'm
get in
out.
that bed, I'm
I'm
not
out.
staying here.
I'm out.
I am going to
I'm out.
be with my creator. I am
I'm out.
going to heaven,
Yep.
period. I'm out. That's a deal breaker for me. But it was amazing how fast. So that day she ate very little. She started not eating, and maybe it was the next day that her body started shutting down. And by that morning at 6 o'clock, she was gone.
Wow.
So you do, and I've saw people in my own family that got very depressed and like began to start choosing that I don't need to be here. And it was a while before they got their self in a position where they started choosing to live again and pulled right out of it. But if you don't pull out of it, your body shuts down and you're gone. Because this person I'm talking about stopped kind of eating, didn't want to eat, didn't have a desire to do anything, was a project person that, do stuff, do stuff, do stuff.
Right.
And you keep moving, because if you don't move, you're not going to be here. You can't live if you don't move. And yeah, and as soon as that choice was no, I'm going to choose life, I'm not ready yet, was like completely healed of everything that was going on.
That's cool.
So I definitely believe that it is a choice. But I did find my book. I had
Oh,
this book
awesome.
in 2020 and I
Yeah.
read it. And
It's
I just
amazing, right?
know that if I go back through it, Chris, now that you've piqued my interest again,
Yeah.
that I'll read it totally different than I did in 2020.
I think any of the sciences are gonna like, it's almost like, how do I frame it up? The Lord is saying, listen, you guys are doing great. What I need for all of you to do, and I'm speaking for me, is get a passion for the sciences. Like they're discovering all kinds of things of being physics and biology, right? And alchemy, right? The elementals. I got to get on the elementals and try to understand, okay, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it other than when I'm reading, I don't know how much I'm taking in. Because of course, when you read some science books, I mean, it's that there's a
Over
certain
the top.
language and it's like, but spiritually, I'm like, oh, so its structure is what? And its function is what? It's like, okay, it's like playing Legos. So we're discovering all this stuff, but what nobody is getting, like when you say that, okay, the universe is 99% plasma. Okay, and you have these plasma clouds, and we've got a microbiome of plasma, like good biome, microbiome, right? Good bacteria, bacteria, right? And they're functioning intelligently, and they're working together as a team. And science is trying to look in the physical, and then what they're not getting that we have is the spiritual intelligence that you don't get access to unless you have relationship. No matter how much digging, how much knowledge you get below the sun, go to Mars, go do whatever you want to do. But there is a spiritual intelligence that's reserved for us, the sons, energetically, that we can create an environment within ourselves, send the signals to the atomic matter of our body, right? Choosing our soul body, mind, will, and the emotion, and all the gateways, the spiritual body, and then we connect with big love. I mean, this is the I am. This is who we're supposed to be, and this is, bringing heaven to earth. And, so I don't know. So yeah, I'd love to talk to somebody about it, reading the book. Maybe we can do that on Riverside. I know we're getting to the top of the hour and we'll get back in the green room, but yeah, I'm going to stay. I mean, and if you guys know of any, so I have, The Science of Plasma by Robert Temple, great book on plasma from a spiritual perspective. This Biology of Belief. So now I'm getting a sense of revisiting biology. If we can come across, if anybody out there or you guys know of anything where for chemistry, alchemy, that's got like something that's like kind of like a Bruce Lipton of biology, if because that is where I want to go next, to understand the elementals. And yeah, so anyhow, but so good. Thanks.
Been good, folks. Been good.
Yeah, it's been awesome
We've had some good stuff.
stuff.
And this book was, it says
20 years ago.
2015, so it's
20
not
years,
a new book. It's
not a
been
new book.
around a bit.
And when he tells his story, because he was a cell biologist and successful in his field, but totally in his personal life, he was a wreck. And he couldn't figure
that book,
the biology of belief.
Okay.
Yeah. And, and again, this is how in the biology of belief, it's connecting science epigenetically, not devaluating genes, the 19,000 genes in genetics, but genetic determinism. I have an unhappy gene. I have this gene. I've got the breast cancer gene. Not discounting that those genetics are there, but 95, 99, whatever the percentage is epigenetic. You choose. If you choose, you want to lean into your genes, the 1%, and get into this genetic determinism because you're spiritually and intellectually lazy because you're living on one half of your brain, I love you, but I'm not buying into that. And it's not going to work in the days ahead anymore. We're in a new world that's finished. It's finished. It's time to level up.
And this stuff's coming out of the woo. It ain't the woo woo.
It ain't the woo woo.
We know we call it. We've called it just different names. What do doctors call it? This guy's got a real strong will to live. Okay, so he has determined something that affects his body's ability to manage whatever is coming at it. His will to live. This one doesn't, and they pass. Choice. We just didn't have, a white paper on it.
And you're not looking at it, and we don't look at it as a science, as a technology that I'm responsible for the choice, because here's, good choices produce good outcomes. Ongoing, no choices or bad choices, you're not going to get, it's amazing how amazing we are and what's really happening below the sun, excluding, let's get past next week, we
understand this.
Stay out of the news, just stay above the sun, control your environment, take ownership of your environment internally. All right. Deal with your junk, stay in your lane, and just know that get into the thought energy realm.
Yeah.
Capture your thoughts. Nope, I'm not saying this about myself. Love yourself. Talk to yourself.
Take your gates back. You decide
take your gates
what comes
back,
in.
Man.
You decide what comes in.
That's correct.
What's been done to you, what's being done to you.
Correct.
The attitude and the energies of the world around you, which right now we can talk about it. It ain't good. It's rough in the ether right now.
Yeah.
But you decide.
Well, that's why we have this community. We can hang out with each other. We don't have to hang out with what's going on out on under the sun there.
Are we still recording? And we in the green room?
We're still recording. I can shut it
nice.
down. I was waiting for a break in the conversation. But y'all have a great one. We'll see you next